right, guys. So for skill 2, we're going to be talking about complementary and supplementary angles, right? Which are two of the most important types of angles that we're going to see this year in geometry, okay? Complementary angles add up to 90 degrees, which means that the two angles, when we put them together, give us this nice right angle, okay? And 180 degrees is what supplementary angles add up to, which means that they add together to give us a straight line, okay? It's a pair of angles that add up to a straight line, so we also call this a linear pair, right? Pair like 2 and linear because it's a straight line, okay? So if we're given one of the angles and asked to solve for the other one, the first thing we need to do is figure out what do these two angles add up to, okay? In this case, they're complementary, and I already said those have to add up to 90 degrees, right? Which means that these two angles, when we add them together, have to equal 90, okay? So pause the video, solve for B. All right, so as you should know, this one we just have to subtract 31 from both sides. Okay, these cancel out, we end up with B is equal to 59. All right, and this one over here, I want you guys to pause the video and see if you can set this one up on your own. Okay, cool. So hopefully the equation you came up with was these two parts, right? B and 101 are supplementary, which means that when we add them together, we get 180 degrees, okay? And once again, our steps to solve here are pretty straightforward, just minus 101, cancel, and B is equal to 79 degrees here.
So now, as usual, we need to make it a little more advanced. We need to start throwing in a little more algebra and sort of equation solving into the mix of things. Now, once again, we label this as complementary, but visually, you will always know a complementary angle by that nice little box that we call the right angle sign. That's sort of that automatic visual to let you know we'll add up to 90 degrees. And once again, it's going to be the two parts will add up to 90 degrees. So I see the first part of the angle is 24. The second part of that right 90 degree angle is 5x plus 1. And when we add those two parts together, it needs to equal 90 degrees. Now pause the video and see if you can solve this on your own before you watch my explanation. Great. You've tried it on your own now. Let's see if you were right. So first, we've got to combine our like terms. Already on the same side, we don't need any inverse operations. 24 plus 1 gives us our 25. 5x will come on down. And it's all still equal to 90. Now we're just going to keep solving like we've been solving for a while. We'll subtract the 25 from both sides. Now we're just left with 5x over there is equal to 65. Finally, last, 5x is multiplication, so we need to make sure we're dividing there. Our 5's will drop out, and we're left with good old x is equal to 13. Now, we also need to keep in mind our supplementary angle over here. We know complementary was 90 degrees, and just like Mr. Matthews said, visually, there's a way we know this is supplementary and will equal 180 degrees. And that's because these two angles are on a straight line. And as we know, straight lines are linear, which is why we also call this a linear pair. I really want to make sure we understand linear pair and supplementary are both correct ways to describe this. And when we know this part of the angle plus this part will need to equal 180. So pause the video, see if you can set it up on your own. All right, let's see if that setup's correct. So we're going to take that first part, 2x plus 12. We're going to add it to the other part, plus 4x. And those two things together will equal our straight line of 180 degrees. Oh! Watch out your Chromebooks, guys. Be careful there. Okay. Now, try and solve this on your own by pausing the video before you watch my explanation. Okay, great. Now, once again, we need to combine our like terms. They're on the same side, so we keep the signs the same. 2x plus 4x will give us 6x plus 12. All is still equal to 180. We'll get rid of our faraway friend by subtracting. And we'll be left with 6x is equal to 168. We'll need to divide each side by 6. And let me see what that gives us. 6 doesn't go into 1, but 6 goes into 16 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. Bring that down. 6 goes into 8. 48 8 times. So we have x is equal to 28.